As of now, it has been like 55 days since I started using this phone, the Honor Magic 4 Pro. It's one among their many flagships they launched in 2022, but this is their international unit, meaning that this is one of their phones which is not China exclusive and it's supposed to be launched worldwide. It has already launched in many markets like Europe, Malaysia, etc., and I have been using it here in India as well. Of course, this phone came as courtesy of Honor. I didn't really purchase this because it's not officially available in India. I mean, it says not for sale on the box. So, I thought I would use this for a while and really let you know what it's like. So, now that it has been about a month, my verdict is the same as what you see in the title. It's still not impressive or reliable. That's the same issue I described in my review that I made about a month ago. Like the software has tons of bugs, and there's no way this phone can realistically compete with any other flagship in the market like the Galaxy S22 Ultra. I also said how the price is a bit too high for this phone, like it can't really compete with flagships with this high price and this many bugs. Like I can never see a Samsung flagship being launched with these many, UI issues and blatant functionality problems. I mean, I can recall one instance where it was the peak month of June, I think, in the early month of June, where I had recently got this device and I was trying to pay someone critically. Like it was a time sensitive payment that I had to do from my phone. And I was using this phone, but for some reason, when I opened my payment app, the screen just froze. I didn't realize that actually you get a pop up, right? A fingerprint pop up when you open a payment app. That pop up was not working because the fingerprint sensor, for some reason, stopped working all of a sudden. So I just couldn't get the payment done and I had to come back down and use one of my older devices to do it. I had to restart this phone to get the fingerprint working again. It just stopped working first thing in the morning. That's not a trait of a flagship device. Of course, it only happened once, and after two software updates that I received since then, I haven't faced any more such issues. But still, it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. It's such an expensive premium device, which is premium in every way. There is no denying that. But such a blatant functionality issue, it completely fails to work. Like you can imagine, I was getting calls after calls that have you done the payment? Is it done? Is it done? I couldn't do it on my phone. And talking about calls, that's another thing I noticed. The call quality on this thing is for some reason not that great. Like I can hear the other party just fine, but they can't hear me that clearly. Like the microphones on this device don't seem to be working well. Well, I mean, they are working, but not working in a very good way. Like the clarity is missing. Here's a sample between this phone and my 4-year-old Galaxy Note 8. Take a listen. Okay, this is what it sounds like when I usually talk on the Honor Magic 4 Pro. I'm just talking into the phone's mic. And this is how it sounds like through my 4-year-old Galaxy Note 8. I'm speaking at the same volume on the same room at the same time. Note that this test was recorded on this phone at the same time on the same weather condition. Like the weather was good. We had full network on both these phones. So it's not a network coverage problem. I have made many phone calls from the same room on my Note 8 and Note 9 and other devices. I've never had any issues. But with this phone, I get a lot of I can't hear you. Can you speak again? I've never heard my callers complaining about my voice clarity on any other device. That's what frustrates me. I mean, this phone is like the world's first in many areas. World's first commercially available 100 watt wireless charging. World's first 1920 MHz PWM dimming. World's first 4K 60 FPS log video, which is amazing. I get that. They're all amazing. I use them and I like them. But a phone is a communication device. It's supposed to excel at communications first, and this thing is not amazing at that. I mean, that was Samsung's issue as well back in the day. Like in the early days of 2013, Samsung's UI was garbage. Like they filled every random nonsense on their phone that slowed it down, and it wasn't really functional. They realized their mistake after 2015 with the Galaxy S6, I believe, with their new UI, and everything was better. And now their One UI is one of the best UIs I've used. It's really, really good. Can't really say the same for the Honor Magic UI though. It still has those weird animation bugs when you rotate the screen, like sometimes the recent apps stop working. The reason why they stop working is this phone has an adamant issue that you have to use the built-in launcher. If for some reason you are using a third-party launcher and the built-in launcher in the back closes for some reason, it doesn't allow you to switch recent apps. You have to go back to the built-in launcher and then switch back to your whichever launcher you are using, and then it'll start working. The problem is it doesn't happen all the time. Again, it randomly pops up out of nowhere. You can't predict that this is how the phone will behave, and that's what we call as unreliable. I mean, Honor, your phone which you are comparing to the latest Samsung device, when it falls short in comparison to a 4-year-old Samsung device, you know that something's going wrong. And this is why I'm frustrated. Like, this phone is premium in every way, as I said. Great hardware, fantastic display, incredibly fast charging. I mean, the wireless charging on this device is twice as fast as the wired charging on the S22 Ultra. I believe S22 Ultra has 45 watts. This thing has 100 watts, both wired and wireless, with a charger in the box. This thing has a lot of great value in it, but the software, even after a month and 2-3 software updates, it's still not great. I can't speak about the China only versions because they have a different ROM. They have a Chinese version ROM. This thing has an international ROM with Google services and everything, and I think Honor has kind of neglected their ROW versions, rest of world versions. That's the problem with phones or manufacturers that are really meant for one country or one market, and they are just making phones for the sake of it for other markets. And well, China phones have always had that issue. Honor at the moment is going through a weird phase of continuing service in certain countries like India or not continuing it. They say that officially they are still servicing in India, like you can still buy their phones, but again, they don't have official stores and they are pulling out their staff from India. So it's a weird phase. So I think in the mixture of all of that, they are ignoring the issues with their international versions. I'm sure if they work on it, these can be easily fixed, but not sure when they'll get to that. They are launching phones back to back, like they launched, I think, the newest Honor 70, I believe. Their folding phone is already out, so they are on a roll, but they are China exclusive versions. So yeah, no, we are never going to see them outside. So it's a messy software running on top of what's otherwise a fantastic hardware. That's what pisses me off. Like, this is a fantastic, incredibly high potential device if it just had the right software to go along with it. I'm gonna still use it daily because it's the best phone I have right now and the most powerful latest phone. But yeah, like I'm still kind of disappointed. Anyway, those were my thoughts on the Honor Magic 4 Pro. If you have any other devices that you want me to take a look, any other exclusive strange devices, then yeah, let me know. We'll try to reach out to the companies and see if we can do something.